Yeah, bridging the gap. Nyomi Banks, the goddess. Tune in. Hey yo, Black, where we at? Elements. Got a problem? What's the issue? Ask Nyomi for advice, she will bless you. Is it sex, love, or relationships? If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with
All right. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and welcome to another episode of Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more while bridging the gap between them all and teaching the world on how to love language, sex, and spiritual uplifting. So today's topic, we are talking about aging in a relationship, is how can we outlove the pitfalls in a long-standing relationship. So what I want to do, I want to take a break because I'm going to explain to you how this topic all started. And it started from a DM that I received from a young man that I worked with before. I'm not in the industry, but on some other things. And that he was asking me some questions. So I had him hold off for a few weeks while I kind of get this show together, because I know not only him, but quite a few people are dealing with this issue now, that they've been in a relationship for so long, that now is their body going through changes and things of that sort. So now it's like, how do we now relate to each other in that manner? How do we keep each other, sexual drive up, a desire when we're going through different things, in our life? All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to start this topic. All right, we got Sexy Is Cosmetic. This is your girl, goddess, the goddess, Nyomi Banks. We'll be back. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks. And Sexy Is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Nyomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy Is Cosmetics. Use the code Ask Nyomi for a 10% discount. All right, Sexy Is Cosmetic. This is your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and welcome back to Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. I got my boy, Mike Dog. What's up, Dog Pound Mike?
What's happening?
What's going on? All right, so I know you guys like, what is going on with Nyomi's voice? All right, so this past weekend, some of my girls came to town and we went to the New Edition concert. We went to the New Edition concert, and literally, I think I sang every song or every artist that was there, from Jodeci to Uncle Charlie to New Edition and everybody else. They got like 4 or 5 groups within the group, as well as the DJ was banging all night long. So we had a good time. And now my voice is, very, very hoarse right now. So I'm actually able to speak today. Before, for the past few days, I wasn't able to speak really at all. It was like little. So you just take this like I'm talking real sexy to y'all, like a 1-800. Like a 1-800 sex dial type of thing.
That's no ad up.
Right. All right. So before the break, I was talking about our topic for today, which is, which is aging in a relationship. And so what that means for me, and what I meant for the topic, is that when you're in a relationship for a long time, let's say we're going past that 7-year itch. You know what I'm saying? That 7-year itch that everybody has, and that because that's when everything kind of goes to hell, when everything starts to happen at that 7-year itch. But then after that, what do you do after that? When you kind of go through that and you go and everything is, you moving. So I don't know if we all just moving together because we're supposed to be moving together. And once you start to do that, the things start to get familiar and get ordinary. You understand what I'm saying? So actually, where this topic really came from, it was a young guy who had hit me up in the DMs. Y'all don't be hitting me up in DMs, but he was able to because we've had conversation. We worked before in another matter. But he had hit me up, so I want to read this to you guys right fast, and then I'm going to and then we're going to start with it. All right, okay. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, so here we go. All right, so he says he's been struggling in the sex department with his wife. She's going through menopause phase, so she has no real desire for sex. My sex drive is high, but controlling it due to her experience. There are times where it is non-existent, and she seems annoyed even if I get close. I get no response most of the time or a side eye. We have had sex in about a month, and last night we did it. It takes me a long time to come as she prefers shorter sexual encounters. This will irritate her as well. After having sex for a while, last night she questioned my attraction to her and if I was bored with her. I confirmed that I am definitely attracted to her and not bored, hence my erection. Backdrop: since I don't get it frequently, I do masturbate pretty often, but I would nut within 2 to 7 minutes. But when having sex with her, I can be 30 minutes and several times where I won't come at all. I always initiate. I don't feel like she is attracted to me. I have told her this. There is no spice. I did buy her the rose, and she loves that, but it's far and few between when we use it. I used it 2 times since the summer. It sat on the dresser for months. I'm wondering if subconsciously if I'm not attracted to her or if I'm just going through the motions. There is no pillow or freaky talk on her part. And so I asked him, how long have you guys been together? And he says since 1998. Prior to her experience, menopause, everything else has been the same. And I asked him a few more questions. I said, so her sexual drive has never matched your level or yours? And he responded, when we dated a while and engaged, yes, it did. Hence having our son, who is now a certain age, 13, I'm going to say, it's been unmatched since. Not sure what to do. Last time she sent me a sexy picture has been almost 10 years ago. Last time she initiated sex and told me she wanted it verbally about an hour and a half ago. I have to put her hand on my penis to have her beat it. It's so frustrating. And so he said, we talked about several times how to improve it, but it hasn't. So last time we had the conversation, she told me that she wasn't interested due to menopause. Thinking about it, her love language, acts of service, I asked him what his love language was. And her love language is acts of service, so I can do more around the house. So he said, I do lack in that area, mainly with what she's primarily does. However, there are things that I do that she doesn't. I think it's a balance, but she may not agree. At times I do. I cook, clean bathrooms. I do all the transportation with our son. So all of the activity, which is the job itself. Overall, our relationship is outstanding. But this one area is trouble. I watch a lot of porn. She doesn't like that. But she also doesn't know. Sorry, I appreciate you responding, such and such, such, such. So actually what I did was I put him on hold. So I just asked him a few little questions here and there because there were certain things that kind of stood out to me in that whole conversation that he was having to me that he put. He put one that she was going to menopause. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was one thing that I had written down because I myself is going through early stages of menopause. But me, I'm horny. But everybody don't go through menopause the same way. You understand what I'm saying? Then it was another thing that he said is that he wasn't pressuring her due to her experience. So that also put a red flag up to me. So this now I'm going into my my social service. Wow. Now I put on my social service hat when I was reading this. But also what he said too was that she asked, was he still attracted to her, as he asked the same. So in hindsight, both of them are feeling that they're not attracted to each other. Well, their other partner is not attracted to them. Right. So I went with that too as another one. All right. So then another one that kind of to me is that when having sex when having sex with her that it takes him 30 minutes. But when he masturbates, it takes him between 5 and 7 minutes. And then he does watch a lot of porn. All right, so I'm going to tell you where you could get very desensitized. I guess that's the correct word. When you're doing that, because it's more, when you're watching porn, it's more of a visual. You understand? It's more of a visual. And you have control on how tight and the rhythm of your hand as it flows and goes. I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to keep it as real as possible when you go through it. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so let's tackle the first thing. All right, so the first thing that I wrote on here is identifying what is happening. So there's so many different things that is happening in this relationship. Yes, they've been together for a long time. And right now, through her body, I don't want to say transition because it sounds like she's down, but it's moving on to a more and I'm trying to be more correct when I say this and not be so, but her body is maturing in a way, hormonal, that is not used to. And I'm just going to be honest when I say this. It says is that for me I go through a lot of hot flashes, my body sweat. My stuff this is the wettest my stuff has ever been. I mean, I know I'm being very candid, but I'm just being real. There are so many different things that goes on with a woman's body when they go through this transition or this transformation of their body that they have no control over. I mean, they can go to the doctor and get these different shots and do all this other stuff, but it's so it's so tiring. It's tiring because not only is it physically, it's an emotionally, and it's a mental thing with it. It's a mental stress with it. So even when her asking him, is he attracted to her? I mean, that goes on because she probably gained weight. You understand what I'm saying? She probably don't look the same as what she did pre-baby, and once you have baby, your hormones are really out of whack, from there. So it's like, how can we get past there? So then we're going to go, because we're going to go to the man too. He could be going through midlife crisis. For men, for midlife crisis, what you do, it's kind of the same, but not the same. And let me tell you where the difference at. For the midlife crisis for the men is that they want to go back into where they're younger because they know they're getting older. And so now they want to challenge themselves as men to make sure they still have that manly thing and that manly power. So let me see if I can go, if I can still up as much as I can do, and all of those other things. You understand what I'm saying? So for that is what I feel for you guys. And if you're watching, and I'm going to call you Mr. J. That's why I'm going to call you Mr. J. And if you are watching Mr. J, maybe look and see what's going on with you as well. And I know you said you and her have these talks a lot, but evidently she's not comfortable to being very honest with you on what's the next level where y'all taking y'all sex at. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That. So this is where you have to really say, you know what, baby, let's really talk about this, because this right here is really affecting us right now. You know what I'm saying? And even you being in her for 30 minutes, you can go, but I'm going to pass this over to Mike, because going for 30 minutes and you only go for 5 or 7 minutes in your hand, I kind of know what it is, but I'm not a man. So I'm going to pass this over to Mike real fast, and then he's going to pass it on back over to me.
Oh, you going to pass over the masturbation to me, huh? Well, you know something? The thing is with that, too, is he said he's still attracted to his wife, which he is, because he loves her for being together so long. As far as watching porn and masturbation, yes, that's only for some guys, only a 3 to 5 minute thing, because I'm looking at what I'm looking at. So if you're watching porn, you done went to what you like in porn, you done seen it, you masturbate, you get off, and you cut it off. After you masturbate, it ain't nothing else that you can do. you go get your towel, clean yourself off, and shit, go back to whatever you were doing, watching the game or whatever. So going 30 minutes or longer with his wife, that is the attraction. And the thing, I think, one thing they even said is the love, because if you've been in a relationship that long a time, the love is there and you show it in different ways.
Oh yeah, for sure the love is there. Like he said that beyond that, everything is outstanding. But let's be honest, you need that sex. I mean, you can't be one sided. I'm sorry. He was like, oh, you go ahead and have it. Like you can't be one sided with the sex. You understand what I'm saying?
I ain't saying that's
okay,
one sided with the sex. What I'm saying is that's why it's 30 minutes or whatever he can do with his life, because that love and that attraction is still there. That's the thing.
So it's more love making for you. You said it's more love making. So you hear that, Mr. J? He said that it's more of a love making thing when it can last that 30 minutes.
Yes.
But she like it short.
Well, I mean,
how can you as a man, and I'm being very honest, and I see a lot of you babies in the comments, how as you as a man can you turn that level down or that timing down as well as making love?
Yeah, you can turn it down, but I think he may be feeling if I turn it down some, it's gonna be like me watching porn. So I'm just going to have sex just to get off, just to get a nut, because that's what most men watch porn for. Women too. You watch porn to have that orgasm, to get enough, to do whatever you're gonna do, and then 90% you cutting it off, you doing something else. So the thing I guess in his mind is the longer he goes with his wife, is the more attraction there. So that's the discussion he need to have with his wife as well. We do it longer because I'm into you, opposed to being into porn.
But the thing is, she likes it. She likes it. You understand what I'm saying? So he's saying that what irritates her when they go longer.
Right.
So it's somewhere we go from 7 minutes to 30 minutes.
Right.
Can we do a 15-minute one? You know what I'm saying? Can you?
So he got treated like he watching porn then. Shit, that's the truth.
No, I don't think so. No, I think it's somewhere you have to find out how you can balance those things.
Yeah.
What is it called? Tantrum? Is that what it's called? That you can kind of, kind of mentally be able to do these things or whatever. But it was this movie, and I think I spoke about it briefly last week. It's this movie that this guy, all he's doing was watching porn. He was watching porn, and he'll get off watching porn. And then he'll find these girls that he used to sleep at in the bar. And, he'll have sex with them. But even after he had sex with them, they wouldn't make him come. So he would literally leave them in the bed and go and watch Alexis, Texas, and, and jerk off real quick. Because I guess, like, it was something else. So let me say, because I'm about to skip over this. So maybe it's even in, and I did not ask him this, with the different positions. Because sometimes if you in the same ordinary position all the time, that doesn't get off. And even for her. So it's like he needs to find somewhere where they can go talk to somebody that will help her to get through whatever it is that she had experienced before.
Right.
So that's what he dealing with. That's what you're dealing with too now. As she's got older and her hormones are all crazy and I ain't gonna say out of whack, but they are out of whack, but crazy and stuff like that. It's probably time that both of y'all go see a counselor to figure out exactly what happened to her and where she is right now. So she can get healed from that. Because that's what I feel that it is, that she needs to get healed from whatever the situation. Because like I said, it was a lot of red flags that came up when he said that. So right now, that saying you said we're going through the motions, yes, she's going through the motions because she loves you as well as you love. But now it's time for you guys to go to a professional. Truly a professional that would truly help her deal with whatever happened with her or to her that makes her react to you in a matter to where it's not comfortable for her. Because if you are in a loving relationship and it's you two together and that's the only thing that's wrong with it, and you say because of that, then okay, so now let's go get healed together, baby. I'm gonna go with you and hold your hand. You know what I'm saying? And do that. You looking at me like,
I guess the thing is I guess what he say? He's saying she going through menopause, right?
Right.
Ain't that what it mean? Menopause? You put men on the pause? Shit, tell the dog something. The dog don't know. Cause when I hear menopause, you putting niggas on pause, right? So some women they look, as you get older, some women lose interest in sex as much, just like some men, they either lose it, some men can't get it up as much. You know,
right, exactly.
Things happen when you get older. So, menopause.
I think he was waiting all day to say that.
Girl, I wrote that shit down early when you said menopause.
Oh my goodness.
Why do they call it that?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me do this. I'm going to take a quick break. And then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss this some more. This is your girl. The goddess Naomi Banks. I'm so sorry. Oh, Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap.
I want to play for so long. I need to tell you. I want to unless you talking numbers, we ain't speaking about the right things. Switch up on my nigga for a figure, that's not like me. Baddie with a body in the lobby, she like nice things. She used to know me then, she like me now, that's funny timing. Eyes been on that prize, I copped that crib for that timepiece. I'm trying to see the globe and sell out shows.
All right. So I know you just saw that nice little clip right there. That is my girl, India Morel, with her Dow House Radio that you can see. They come on every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. She has several different shows. Make sure you guys check it out and go subscribe right there to her. Great show. They have some great stuff over there. Some great stuff over there. All right. So before the break, excuse me, y'all have to excuse my voice. Like I said before, I was doing a lot of screaming and hollering this weekend. That has a sister. I was down for a few days too, so today is really my first day up. Excuse me, my first day up. But but we were talking about menopause and, as Mike would say, putting men on pause. And Midlife Crisis. Well, we're helping out Mr. J and his relationship right now with him and his wife that they've been together since 1998. So that's a long-standing relationship. That's a very long-standing relationship. And sometimes we can be in a relationship so long that everything is just so common. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, as he said, going through the motion and things is just, going right there. So later on, we will have some, some kind of little things to kind of help y'all to move on or get through this. Because not only women go through this, but like I said, the men go through the same thing as well. They testosterone goes down, they can't get a hard on. I found out some shit I can't even speak that, but I found out some stuff this weekend about somebody that I know that, I ain't been able to do it for a while, and I was very shocked and surprised about that, but it wasn't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing new and new, but I know there's a lot of relationships that have been together for a long time that they trying to figure out, okay, now the kids are grown, they out of the house, we empty nesting or whatever like that. So how can we still keep it spicy? Right. How can we still do A, B, C, and D, in the relationship? You know what I'm saying? How can we make it, to where it's more spicier, But with him, Mr. J, my advice to you guys is go ahead and get counseling first. And really sit down with your baby and really talk to her about what you guys going to do, your next move. And my advice is go to counseling, because you have to heal what happened to her first. And you didn't say, you just kept making that assumption that something happened to her, since something happened to her. And so get that first and get healing with that first. And then I truly believe that once she's able to heal from that, and you guys will be able to, because you guys have a great foundation. You have a great foundation. And like I said, it seems like you talk because you know her love language and she knows yours, but yeah, that's my gist on that one. You know what I mean? But this is what I wanted to share with y'all too, because I put out something for Social connection, don't do that yet. But for social connection, I was asking about, divorce rates or whatever like that. But what I did read is that the average length of marriage in the United States is just around 8.2 years. 8.2 years. So it's just shy, just 1 year past the 7-year itch. Yeah, the 7-year itch. But this would be very surprising. I got some of my New York babies up in here. New York, listen to what I say. They said that New York marriages is roughly 50% larger, about 4 years difference than the national. Mm-hmm. Meaning that the average of New Yorkers, so if you want to stay married long, you might need to go to New York. That New York says 12.2 years. Mm. And so I kind of figure like why? But then I guess if you ever lived in New York is expensive as hell.
Mm-hmm. The lawyers cost too much to get a divorce, James.
Like seriously. So maybe they stay together for convenience.
Maybe, yeah.
That could be it. Maybe they stay together for convenience. Mm-hmm. I gotta look at some more of this, but I truly believe is that they stay together for convenience.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Somebody said it's cheaper to keep her. Well, I guess so. I don't know. That depends on who that is. I guess that depends on who that is. All right. So let me tell you. So let me go. In my first marriage, it lasted about 10 years, off and on. Probably the first year and a half of it, we separated. After that, we got back together, and then we separated again. And then we got back together, mm-hmm. And then we separated again for good. So it was like we were averaging every 2.2 years. Every 2.2 years. But I kind of understood why that relationship did not work. You know what I'm saying? That we were compatible in some things and not in other things. I think we were together, for my daughter. I think that was for the birth of her, of her. And that was it, But I know that there are marriages. I think one of my questions was about how long of a, relationship that you've been, in. And for me, the relationship that I'm in now, I've been in it for a very, very long time. And actually, when I was told today, I was wrong because I said a few years less than what it really was. A few years than what it was. So I'm going to be honest. Did we go through that time that we had to figure out how to make it spicy in our relationship? And I'm going to be very honest. I think as I started to gain weight, did I get more sexual? My sexual always stayed at this, going like this, going like this. But I think for him, it was as he getting older, that maybe he wasn't pleasing to me. And that wasn't the case. Not that he was comparing me to anybody else. It was that my sex thing, it can go. At times he can go too, but you understand what I'm saying? So it's like the stress level of some men, and he's older than me. So it's the stress level of some men that it can, kind of hinder that sexual drive, or what you want to call it?
That's what it is, drive.
The sexual drive, yeah, or like that. So actually, I had wanted to bring this show up too, and it's gonna be further on down. So I'm gonna need some of my babies that's up there that's 40 years and older, that I would like to have that conversation with y'all as being older. And if some of you are dating out there, it's older, and how does it, how do you feel with that? And how can you go? Is your sex drive as it was when it was 25, 30 years old? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, let's be real about it,
Right.
Just as women goes through the same thing, men go to, as well.
Right. Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't driving the Ferrari like I used to.
See, that's the midlife crisis right there. Now, y'all see me fanning this paddle, right? So that means like it's some hot flashes that's coming to me.
Over there.
Like, seriously, I'm drinking water in my martini, trying to get myself a little cool in here, because I can't turn on the air because it'll blast the whole thing. Y'all wouldn't even be able to hear me with my hoarse voice. But yeah. All right, so what we're going to do right now, we'll take a really, really quick break. We're going to come back with our tops, and then after that, we're going to do our Ask Nyomi letter. All right, so this is your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. All right, here we go with Sexy is Cosmetics. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and Sexy is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Nyomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy is Cosmetics. Use the code Ask Nyomi for a 10% discount. All right. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast live show. Right here on YouTube, you can hear us every Thursday here live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as you can hear us on all streaming platforms on Fridays, starting from midnight on to. All right, so we're going to do our Nyomi Tops. So this Nyomi Tops, what I wanted to do is to, because this is all about getting through or outloving the pitfalls of a long-standing relationship. So in this top 5 that I have, this is the top 5 of getting through it successfully throughout the years. So my number 1 is acknowledge the change in yourselves. That's meaning that understand what your body and what is it doing. Understand and embrace when you are aging. So me as almost 50 years old, I'm a month shy of 50 years old. I understand that my body has changes. And I understand that through those changes, that things will happen that might not be suitable for, that other person that is in my life. Whether it be I'm horny or I'm not horny, or I don't want to be touched, I don't want to be feel, or I might like this, or I might not like that. Because even with that change, there are certain things that I don't desire anymore. And that can be through eating, just a conversation that you have. That shit just like really make you annoying, Like even right now I'm sitting here and I'm sweating. Like I'm, I'm truly sweating. And I'm talking with a little irritation in me as well. I don't want to snap off, so make sure don't nobody say nothing in these comments that are too crazy, because I might snap off on them. I don't know exactly who it is. And that's what it is. And the thing is I had my girlfriends over here this weekend, and we joked about that a little bit. We joked about going through the change. And that no one truly explained to us what that change was. You understand what I'm saying? So one of my girlfriends had said that, she went and got the shot or whatever like that, so she threw. She ain't had no whatever. I'm claiming that I want to be all woman. So no, I want to go through the whole thing. I want to make sure that I'm having my menstrual, keep going, all up, just keep it going. Little do you know, do you really want that? See, this is something that I'm trying to figure out myself. Any books can tell you all of that stuff, but when you're going through it, it ain't right. So when you wake up in the morning, this is what I do. When I wake up in the morning, I have to tell my boo, look, we got to have a code word. So when you come in and you ask me, baby, how you feeling? What's your level? And that would dictate, this fly's killing me, that would dictate whether or not you could be able to talk to me or just leave me the hell alone. So that's me acknowledging myself and acknowledging the changes in me as well as men. Know that if you feel like something like you feel a little younger, or you feel a little depressed, or you feel like you haven't, did anything, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't enough. then that's something that you need to talk about. Talk about with your woman and talk about with your friends. You know what I'm saying? Yes, with your friends, but I really think you should talk to it with your spouse,
Right.
you know, with your girlfriend or your relationship that you're in, and acknowledge those things. All right, number 2 is communicate. And what I mean with communicate is communicate what is needed for you to be fulfilled and happy. Come to an agreement of understanding of what it looks like in your relationship. And what I mean by that, because through these changes that we have, things changes of our needs and wants and desire. So this is the time that you need to communicate with your partner and let them know, okay, remember when I was liking that before when we was 25, 30 years old? Guess what, baby? I don't like that no more. So can we try something new? You understand what I'm saying? Like this was my love language back in 2015. Now that's no longer my language. Right. So you tell them what your language is, and this go vice versa. So if you have that communication, you say, okay, so this is how we're going to do it. Now, baby, what does that look like? What does that look like in our relationship now through these changes that we are going through? Whether if I'm going through it first or he is going through it first or we're going through it together. But we need to figure that out to where we communicating and we're being open with that so it can go. Because I'm telling you, when that person is going through those changes, it ain't a good thing. It really not. So if they have somebody there that can be compassionate with them and understand what they're going through and not look at them crazy and understand, man, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, number 3, do your self-love and evaluation of yourself. It's the piggyback off of number 1 of acknowledging. But now that you acknowledge what's going on for you, now you need to do things that's going to help you. That's going to help better you, that whatever he does or she does, that it ain't nothing but an added on to what you are already doing for yourself. Because remember, that love that you needed and you thought that you wanted when you was 19, 20, 30 years old, even 40 years old, it ain't the same way. It's not. It's not. So now this is where you got to, come in and do a self-loving on yourself with the changes and embrace those changes. Embrace those big hips. Embrace them big boobs. You understand what I'm saying? Embrace them big old balls to sag. And you understand what I'm saying? Embrace the big, and I'm just being honest when I say this. I know it's funny, but this is what it is. Mm-hmm. And this, I believe this will truly help you to get through this trying time that you guys are having. All right, and number 4, reintroduce yourself to each other. So this new change that you have with each other, and now you have everything together. Now you know who you are right now, and they know who you are through y'all conversations. Now it's time to sit down and reintroduce yourself. My name is such and such and such, and I such and such, and I don't like this, but I like this. You understand what I'm saying? But I can do this, but I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So now you're reintroducing yourself to him and her all over again. So it should be something new. And then number 5, which I really like, start exploring each other with a new outlook on intimate views. And what I mean by that is it is time to go and to explore your sexual desires together. Now you grown. Y'all been together or married for years and years and years. What the hell anybody else think what y'all do in y'all bedroom? You understand what I'm saying? So if he watching porn, go watch porn with him. See what y'all can reenact. And no, I'm not advocating for porn. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is these 5 tips right here, this will truly help you through because it is helping me through now. I think I'm on number 2. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, this will help you to get through this very trying time in your lives where things are changing for you. And it's crazy because not only is it changing for you physically, mentally, and emotionally, but the world is in shambles. It really is. Mm-hmm. So this is where you need that extra. And that's where Mr. J, baby, take your baby. Y'all go sit with somebody. Seriously, sit with a counselor. Sit with somebody that can help her to get past through what she getting through. So y'all can be a final unit. So y'all can be, at 56, 80 years old. I don't know how old y'all are, 80 years old doing the do. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. See what I'm saying? All right, so we're going to take a quick break because I need to rest my voice real fast. We're going to come back with a really good Ask Nyomi letter. This is your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. I'm here with Dog Pound Mike.
Yep.
We out. Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks. And Sexy is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Nyomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy is Cosmetics. All right. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and welcome back to Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. I'm here with my boy, Dog Pound Mike. What's going on, baby?
What's happening?
All right, how are you enjoying this conversation? I thought you would be a little nervous with it because you're about 70 years old, right?
I'm up there.
I know.
But still, I still can get up a little bit, you know? I still get up again, you know? If I can't get it up, I just lick it up.
All right, so this Ask Nyomi letter, this younger man had hit me up a few days ago, and I figured I would share this, with you guys, because it's kind of going to, some of the things that we are talking about today. So we're gonna call him Mr. P. All right. So he said, I'm a Southern gentleman from Louisiana and a fan. I just finished watching your show, Does Size Matter? I enjoyed it. I haven't had any complaints about size 6+. I've always loved giving oral, not to everyone, but no complaints at all. But I wanted to ask how to improve my stroke game. He said, I'm 51, was athletic at one time, mainly in the Marines. I love foreplay to give and receive. I just want to give my wife the best. Another thing is she has a heart condition known as, and I want to make sure that I pronounce this as best that I can, hypertrophic, I can't do this, cardiomyopathy, and needs a transplant. He said, this makes it difficult for me to be romantic as she always is, in some type of pain or uncomfortable, but she's my age and has a healthy sexual appetite. I'm more sensitive, and when seeing this, I don't want to hurt her more, and honestly, it kind of turned me off. But she like, let's go. Help me out. I truly love you as a fan and respect your work. Answer back soon, and thank you, Mr. P. All right, so when I first read this, I was like, okay, let me see, and I started doing some research on the heart condition. Because I am not a doctor. I am not a cardiologist. That is not what I do. You understand what I'm saying? So I was a little nervous in responding back to this conversation with him, to this topic with him. But this is what I said. And I'm going to tell you what I read back to her. I said, first, thank you for writing and sharing your story. I truly appreciate it. I see you wrote that you enjoy to do oral. So I was going to suggest that you maybe try the romantic thing with oral play. Maybe please each other by having a taste test on each other private parts until the arousement is satisfying. Not so hardcore teasing of the body and the mind can be very satisfying. I'm a bit reluctant on giving you hardcore instructions for your stroke game as I am not a cardiologist or a physician. So, and I don't want you to go too far and it will hurt and not be pleasing for either of you. See, I'm strictly love, sex, and relationship with a bit of spiritual uplifting, but I'm going to try to help you and point you to the right way, because the last thing I want you to do for you and that beautiful wife of you is there for your sex life to fizzle out. I told him to check out the Aphrodisiac show that we have when we talked about making the food eroticism with that and doing a lot of food games and sex games with that. That I think with them, they can be able to do that and have fun, that it wouldn't be so taxing on her body emotionally. But when I read up about, being able to have sex, if the doctor says that it's okay, then it's okay for them to have it. So, but let me continue. I said, all in all, if the doctor gives her okay with having sex, then go ahead with the loving. Just make sure you keep her hydrated. And if it gets too much for her, you will have to do the slow wind with her. So what I mean by this, so when you ask me about the stroke game, your stroke game will have to be slow and wind. If it gets too much for her, go slow and wind. You understand? And she seems like she has a very sexual appetite, and maybe allow her to be in control of it. Allow her to be on top. You know what I mean? Allow her to be more in control, because your stroke game is still just as good on the bottom than it is on top. Just make sure you stay hard. Right?
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Right? Seriously.
Yeah.
So don't worry about your stroke game so much. Do a nice slow wind with your wife, because she seemed like she still wants it. She really want to get it on. But also explain to her, you know what, baby, I love you. I don't want you to die on me mid-stroke. I don't want you to die on me mid-stroke. So just take it nice and slow. You know, put on that slow gram music. That what's the name of that group? What's the name of that group? You know the name of them little groups with the sex in the bedroom. What's their name?
You got a whole lot of them. You got Silk.
Right, Silk. That's their name. You had Silk, shit. Keith Sweat will have you grinding and slow winding, you know, all night like that. Play that on. You know, don't be putting on that booty popping music that you're playing right now. Don't do that.
Take that Luke off.
Right, take Luke off. Right, some Barry White, some Teddy Pendergraft, you know, turn off the lights and light a candle and just slow grind it. You ain't got to be bumping like this. Just, you know, take it nice and slow. Nice and slow. But you know what? On all in serious, Mr. P, I truly appreciate you writing in. And like I said, I want you to just keep me in contact with what's going on with you guys. So let me know if any of those games that it worked for you. You know, and what I mean with the taste oral game, I just want to go back to that real fast. With the oral taste, that, you know, kind of put different things on that and just have a nice little eat out. All you can eat. And see who can, you know, y'all, both of y'all just sitting there butt naked.
Go buffet.
Yeah, buffet 6'9". But you know what I'm saying? It's just like all you can eat and see who comes first, arousal first. You know what I mean? And don't go so hardcore with it. All right?
6'9" works every time.
Right, it does. Buffet style. All the way. You got so many things to do. But again, Mr. P, thank you so much for just trusting me with this. And I wish you the best of luck. And I'm praying for your wife that she's able to get this transplant, and it is so successful. And you know what makes me feel good is that she still want to have sex. She want to get it on. You understand what I'm saying? And I love that that just still there. You know, so again, Mr. P, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So we're not about to take any breaks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the comments real fast because I see y'all all in there. I want to thank y'all for just supporting me every week here on Thursday. And you see my voice is getting harsh. It's getting harder. Now I'm sounding like Barry White myself. But I want to just call out, a few of you guys right now. All right, my baby Charmaine, James. I see Miss Yoshi. Who else? I need you to scroll up, baby. You be tight on that one. Mr. Joseph, Michael Pennick. Miss T Brown, baby, how you doing? Hey, Mark. Hey, Spider Moose. Hey, Felix. Hey, Roger. He is so funny right now. What's going on, Jeffrey? Yes, I see y'all. I want to thank y'all. The real Justin Combs. All right, baby. Jay Smith, how you doing? Ruben X, yes. All right, so what I want to do right now, Dog Pound Mike, I don't know if you want to just pop in some good saying so we can kind of answer them to them.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
All right, so Ruben X says, I am 43 and I have days that I can go 3 times a day. Others, I have it once a day and I'm good. All right, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe you answering back from, was the last week before last. Does size really matter? That's a good go. All right, James, Mr. Jimmy A says, those hot flashes are no joke. Trust me, my wife reminds me all the time. Hot then cold, cold then hot, shaking my head, gotta love her. You know what? That's so true. Like for me, I got, 2 levels. So my downstairs, I got 2 units as well. So my downstairs unit is cold. Like it's truly cold. I'm cold, freezing. I'm turning on the heat downstairs. Upstairs, I'm hot as hell. Like I got from the air on to the fan going, the window open. Like it's crazy. And it just really started happening like the beginning of this year. So I'm trying to truly understand what this is. So what I said, I was going to make menopause sexy. Like I wasn't. That's what it is. So I got Michael Prince says she's sweating now. That's making me hot. Like this not making me hot. Oh my goodness.
That's a turn on.
Huh? Yes, that is. That's a turn on. That's definitely a turn on. That is the turn on. All right, again, I want to thank you guys so much for just tuning in every week here. And make sure, like I said, like, subscribe, share. And not only watch here, but also listen back, at the podcast and comment. And let me know what you guys feeling and what you guys think. I mean, we're growing. We're growing more and more each week with it. We're getting more and more with the different topics. So with more topics coming, having a lot of fun. Last week, I truly enjoyed last week because we went from having fun and then we went to a nice, deep conversation. Mm-hmm. And I like that. That's what Bridging the Gap is all about. That is what Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap all about. That there is no topic that is unturned, that we cannot sit and talk about and learn from each other, in that manner. You understand what I'm saying? Where we being respectful in the knowledge that we are giving each other, where it's sex, education or whatever it is, relationship to a spiritual, lifting or whatever like that. It's been good. It's truly been good. It's been very, very good. So I'm going to cut this one just a little short because as you see, my voice is getting very hard and I'm actually supposed to be going out of town this weekend. So I'm hoping that I could be able to make it because when I travel, things get worse for me. All right. So let me do my closing right now. I am a language. I am a language is what I posted today, and that's something I truly believe in, and that we all are a different type of language. And do not get caught up in trying to please and trying to be with everybody. And what I mean be with everybody, because everybody don't do you. You understand what I'm saying? So don't try to change who you are just to fit in. Stay who you are. Be comfortable who you are and embrace it. I know I have a lot of boos in here that I go back and forth with and we talk about it. And sometimes some of the things that people say are probably offsetting. But still continue to be true to yourself. And with saying that, being true to yourself, but also being respectful to others. Mm-hmm. In that. All right. All right. So that is my time. I want to thank you, Dog Pound Mike. I want to thank you, my loyal fans, my listeners here. I also want to thank my boys, Black Elements. I want to thank y'all for my song. I want to thank Sexy Is Cosmetics as well as Dow House Radio. And as I always say, always keep it sexy. Be good to yourselves and others. Good night.
Hey, it's the goddess Naomi Banks. And I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy.
Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more.